Okay. Yay! Mary, I am so excited to have you on today's podcast. I'm so excited to get into your story, a little bit about your background, who you are, why you're so passionate about the work that you do, and then, of course, your experience inside of Charm Collective. I would love for you to introduce yourself. Where are you from? How long have you had your business? What was your background before this?
Sure. So I'm here in Grand Rapids, Michigan. So Michigan's West Coast and love it here. Born and raised in this area. I had in my previous life a long career in human resources, organizational development, but I always worked at smaller places where we all did a lot of everything. I did that for several years. And then, like many people, COVID changed everything. I had a 2-year-old and was pregnant when COVID happened 5 years ago. So I decided to take a step back from my career, get through my pregnancy safely, and reevaluate. So I had Grace, which I thought was a fitting name for the time we were living in. I had Grace in August of 2020. And a few months after that, I'm just a worker. I love to work. And I was like, what am I going to do? I have a 2-year-old and a newborn. So at the time, I started marketing wine. I joined a wine company, Scout and Cellar, as a consultant. I just went all in on that. I love wine. I'm Italian. I love to host. I love to eat. I love the whole thing. I said, I'm just going to do this, earn some money, and see how it goes. Like everything I do, I went full board on that. I was doing wine tastings, and because it was still COVID, I was doing winter wine tastings in a tent in my backyard. People were all about it. Along with the wine tastings and everything, I was online marketing myself, like my brand, and I was basically created this whole brand around wine and mom life. I did a Wine Wednesday series where it was like a show. I'd have guests and we would do wine and food pairings. And I committed to that like every Wednesday. So I basically just built this brand around it where people started like mailing me things or like I'd see them in the street and they'd say, are you Mary Gunther, like the wine? And I was like, yeah. And I realized the power of online branding. 100% self-taught. I like just taught myself all the best like marketing, branding, reels, and I always have enjoyed been creative, so it was really fun for me and I loved it a lot. So I actually still do that on the side. It's like kind of my passion, my baby business. I have customers, I order it still. So I will bring you a
Yes,
bottle.
please.
I am going to be bringing some in
Yay.
May. So basically from that, people started knowing me for social media and started asking me questions. How do you do this? I saw this and picked up one. And I was like, cool, I'll do this on the side now too. And I also had another part-time job at that point. Long story short, I was doing this like a part-time job and my business kept picking up clients, not really knowing what I was fully doing, but I decided I'm going to formalize this. I started building my social brand. So basically, I went all in on that at the beginning of 2023, like on my business as it exists now, all in, like full time, left a part time job, left the security of that income. But I was like, I can do this. So went all in. And ever since, like, it's really grown and evolved. Now we're in our third full year of business. I have a team of 5 people part time and him continuing to grow. So I'll leave it there. But yeah, I'm basically like a self-taught person. I'm older. Like I've basically decided like I just am doing this. I'm 41. But you know what? You can teach yourself. Like you can learn
Totally.
new things.
100%. You're not old. You're the perfect age. You are
Yeah.
in the prime of your life. I love how organically that happened, right? Where it's like you were just doing it to market yourself. You realized you really loved it. You had a knack for it. And then organically, you just had people reaching out to you like, hey, how do I do this? Or hey, can you support me with this? So that just shows how talented you are.
Thanks. Appreciate it. Yeah. It's been natural and I like that. Like when it feels right, it feels good.
Absolutely. Not forced. It feels meant to be. Yes. So How
Absolutely.
did you ever picture yourself being an entrepreneur, having a team of 5?
To be honest,
I love
yes,
it.
but here's why. My grandmother, my mom's mom, was a business owner, entrepreneur in the 60s and 70s when it was really
Yeah.
uncommon. So I grew up around my grandma who had a hugely successful business. One of her clients was Ford Motor Company in Detroit. I grew up around that. It was like key punching. So it's like old technology of how they used to do payroll and everything for at scale. So yeah, it's not around anymore, obviously the technology, but so the big story with my grandma was always like she went to a class to take key punching to do that for a living. She had 6 kids and she goes, I want to be the woman on the other side of the table getting money handed to them. How do I become her? So then she basically learned it and then was like, I could do this. And she employed all sorts of women. I had that in my DNA or how I grew up. So I always knew I wanted to have my own thing. Stepping into the wine business was my baby step into it. Then I just went full in. I used to think it'd be in human resource consulting, but then it's this. I actually always have wanted to have my own thing, and I really don't think I ever see myself going back. This is a long term, big picture for me in my business, which is helpful when you look at it like that because a couple bad months is okay because I'm in this for the long haul. This is what I'm doing in my 40s.
My grandmother
Yeah.
developed land back in the 60s and 70s. And I was just writing something about her where I was like, this is so cool. Women didn't do stuff like this back then. You couldn't
No.
even have like your own bank account, I'm pretty sure, back then. So, oh, I love it.
Yeah, you couldn't get your own like
Hmm.
Amex. And she was also like what I love that about your grandma, but I love about my grandma is she was sitting at the table like people respected her. Like she was at big boy tables and I love that.
Oh, let's
So,
go to our grandmas. Thank you for setting the way, paving the road.
right?
Oh, that's amazing. So, what kind of brands do you work with mainly?
Yeah. So again, it's been an evolution. I would say now our niche isn't so much industry as it's small to mid-sized established businesses. So these are businesses that they're not like day one businesses. They're a little more established. They've typically tried a lot of different marketing things. They are successful businesses in their own right and have a marketing budget or appreciate the value of what marketing can bring them, good marketing. It's evolved over time, but I love supporting local. I never shop on Amazon.
That's
Like
wild.
I think I'm a rarity in that. But that being said, I love local. I love supporting local business. In some of my past roles, they've been very community based organizations. I love the story of a couple or a person that opens a brick and mortar. I respect that. And I love serving people that are doing that. And then it's super fulfilling to me when we take over their social media. They're so excited watching their pages get action and people are getting excited and they're getting excited and it's just raising awareness of what they're doing because so many people are doing such cool things but you have to tell that story. There's so many cool stories you have to tell and I think social media is the perfect place to tell those stories. What we specialize in at the Social GCO is I really encourage our clients to be front facing, be on camera, let's share some fun things about you. People really want to know those things. I really enjoy knowing those things to build the deeper relationships. I try and build relationships for our clients with their audiences. And I think people can feel that when you do that. All different industries. I hate to say social is the same game, but it's the same game. You can always find something interesting about any industry. With my background in organizational development, I ask a ton of questions about their business from the inside out because I want to understand the whole big picture so I can translate that to the people that
Yeah, I love that social media is the same game, but I also feel like it, in the same light, which helps you work with so many different brands, it's all data driven. And what works for one brand may not work for another. As long as you're looking at the data and making data driven decisions, you can work with any brand. totally agree with that. Now, I would love to hear from you. Where were you business wise? What made you decide to invest in the Charm Collective or in mentorship?
I totally believe in ongoing lifelong education. I think, especially in our industry, you got to be on top of things. I want to be a head and shoulder above the rest as far as just staying on top of things and providing the best service to people. I started, there's a ton of coaches you meet in your own city, there's a ton of coaches online. To be honest, I must have been targeted by you. I'm a woman-owned social media marketing. So I start seeing the stuff, and it's one of those things. I see it, I look, I scroll, I see it again. I followed for quite a long time. But then there came a point where I was like, I got to invest. I got to figure this out because I do have natural good instincts in running a business, but there's just things I don't know, especially with this specific niche industry. Everything that I saw coming out of the program, it was tangible. It's not just like we're going to sit around and talk. It was like, here's the flow for this. Here's a process you can implement here, and all the different things, lead gen, our own marketing, and then the mindset piece. I'm also a big mindset person, and I truly believe that's what makes or breaks most business owners. So I've always been into personal development. So you offer that too. And I was like, that's really cool. So I think I did a 3-month trial. And then I moved to the next level because I was seeing results. And I was like, this is scary to invest in this, but I felt confident that I was going to keep closing more clients to pay for this investment in my business, which I did and I still am. So I think for me, it's totally smoothed out the rough edges of my business and given me I now have the confidence of not only you guys, but the other women in the program that they're so knowledgeable. So I just feel so supported to when things get hard, because they will. I don't feel alone in that because your friends don't understand. I'm so excited to see everyone at the revenue room in May in person. I came on right after you had an in-person event last year, so I just missed it. I think business owners need to understand you're going to have to spend money to make money. And I'd rather spend money on my betterment and my business development. What else would you spend money on that's a great investment like that?
Absolutely. Thank you so much for sharing all of that. I love it. I'm so
Yeah,
excited about the revenue room.
thank
I
you.
have invested multiple six figures in my business into mentorship and coaching to skip the line, but also it's the fastest ROI you will ever invest in. If you think about the money invested, if you put that in the stock market versus investing it in your business, yourself, your education, and learning how to land more clients, the return on investment is so much faster than 8% a year. I love doing that math. I'm totally an analytical buyer. And every day I'm like, what am I investing next and next?
Yeah. And honestly, too, Lucy, I'm a big believer that whoever's coaching me better already have the life or success that I want. And you do. I respect that a lot because I think there's a lot of coaches out there that they're great, but have they done it? And that's what I think set it apart. Learning more about you, I was like, she's done it. She knows how to show others how to do it.
It's so important. It's truly so important. And I think everybody, on the team too, I'm just so blessed to have attracted such talented human beings who have done so much themselves. I just love it. And what has been I love the mindset, the community that you brought up. I 100% believe it's 80% mindset. What has been your favorite part of the program?
Yeah, man, it's a lot. The thing with the program, like any program, is you get what you give or what you focus on. And I know there's been periods of time where I'm you're distracted and you're not putting as much into this. And I know I can see immediately when I'm showing up and doing the work and assignments my coach is giving me. For me, I love the accountability that I know in a week I have a meeting, my Caitlin, my coach, and that I really want to have this done for her or for me. But I like the accountability, and I like those sessions. I like that you can plug in at your own time. There's offerings. But then I also like the more specific attention and the messaging system where I can shoot a question and get some help when needed too. I feel like this is just, I don't see myself moving forward. Like there's so much more still I want to do. So I'm like, I'll be here because like at this
We
point,
love
like,
lifers.
so yeah, yeah. At this point, I think I would be like, I'd be like, but no, there's still so much I have to do. Like my business isn't, it's grown so much. And really, and here's the number one thing I love about what you preach is like, why are you going to be a business owner and like never can take a day off? It's so true. And that is 100% why I also love like the program is like, that's what you're preaching. And that's, I feel like avoiding the burnout. Like my kids are 6 and 4 now. So I'm a mom. Outside of this shot here is a floor of laundry. So I love that you're like, rest, don't burn out. You should be able to delegate things. Why are you doing this if not to get the life you want? I love that.
It's important. We just have to celebrate the journey and enjoy the journey. Sometimes you need to sacrifice in the short term, but I've talked to freelancers, agency owners that have not taken a vacation in the last 5 years, and I'm like, no, it doesn't need to be like that. Where's your business now? When did you join us? How many months have we been working together?
Oh, I think I joined like last summer of 2024, like summertime at some point there, June, July. So that's how long. Business now, I've completely eliminated $500 a month clients. That's not even a thing anymore for us. So I've really directed the boat in a new direction, which has been great. And it's true. When you offer value and you're confident, I feel totally good where our pricing is. I also think there's more room to grow there too, be over quantity as far as clients go. Where my business is now, we're right between consistent, like we're like getting into the 12 to 15K a month range. My goal, yeah, my goal, I think for sure we'll hit it by the end of the year. By the end of this year, my goal is like 20K months. My goal by end of last year, so I joined in the summer. By the end of 2024, I want to hit 10K months consistently, and I pretty much hit that more or less right around that time frame. So I was like, okay, we can double that by the end of this year. So far, it's April. I really think we can. I feel again, long game. And this is, I'm trying to scale appropriately for a long term. Like, I really want a solid foundation. So I'm comfortable where I'm at. I'm getting more formal things in place. I have a bookkeeper. The exciting news is I will be transitioning over to be an S Corp and I'm going to create a payroll pretty quick here too, just because I think it's time. I'll be doing that this year too, which will be another great step.
Yay! We're so 20K months. I love it. You're definitely going to be able to achieve that with a 4-year-old and a 6-year-old. I feel like you're so invested in your community as well. You're always doing all these different things in the community. Are you on the school board? Is that something else?
I read last summer. Um, I didn't get it, but ironically, someone resigned. There's an appointment happening. I have an interview for that tonight. So I might be, but next time, by the time this airs, I just like to be involved in the community. I feel like that's who I am. A lot of people are like, why do you want to do so much? But that's who I am. I like to volunteer when I can, but that's not for everyone. My business is giving me the opportunity to have full flexibility with my kids to get them ready for school, to pick them up, St. Patrick's Day parties and all the things. And that's number one for me is to do that. I already feel successful just by having that. So all the rest is just, great on top.
You are so successful. The fact that you can have 2 young kids, be so involved in the community, and you have a business that's between 12 and 15K a month, and we're continuing to scale the right way. You are so successful, and I hope you really like sit in that feeling of I did this and I'm self-taught and this was me just like going out. I just think it's so incredible what you've built, and I know that you're very much so just getting started.
Thank you. No, thank you. I love having your support and everyone. I would highly recommend anyone that's interested in joining Lucky Girls. It's great. All the women are amazing. They're so talented. And the thing about having your own business is you got to treat your business like a business. I would always say invest in yourself. You'll never lose that way. I know you're big into working out, and that's a huge part of it. I do think it's an energy thing. People are like, how do you have so much energy? I have to set aside 3 hours a week at least for me to do those things and to stay very, I don't want to burn out. It's a real thing. So I spent all day yesterday resting. Anyway, I would say take the leap. You get to be around amazing, talented women that are genuinely supportive. Like we're all competitors, but it never feels like that. It always feels like we're genuinely cheering people on. And I love that. If you're considering joining us, join us. Good.
Fun. I really appreciate you and your time. Is there anything else that we didn't cover that you'd like to share?
No, I just think if you're an entrepreneur, we're a rare breed.
Yeah.
So it's nice to be around people that are like you. Thank you for having me. This was super
You're
fun.
amazing, Mary. I can't wait to have you back on in 6 or 12 months from now. Showcase how much you've grown. But I just think you're doing this in such a sustainable, scalable way. And I'm so proud of you. So thank you.